Right, let's cut to the fucking chase. Halo Infinite. A review from Big GLL here. I don't know how to review this game, honestly, because it's not a finished game. There's no co-op at launch. There's no Forge mode. The campaign came out as DLC for the free-to-play game. All the content is locked behind a paywall in the Battle Pass and locked behind another paywall in the store. The challenges are worthless. So this is basically supposed to be a campaign review, but how do you score a campaign by itself? You know, review scores are for a full game. So for a full game, this is almost as low as a Halo 5. You know what I mean? I gave Halo 5 a 1 out of 10, but at least that was releasing as a quote-unquote complete game, even though it was live service, but it wasn't free to play. So I'm not going to give this game a review score because it's not a finished game, so it can't be reviewed as a finished game. This is essentially a beta. That's what the game is. It's coming out. There's no dynamic weather delayed until after launch. No co-op delayed until after launch. Forge mode delayed until after launch. Ray tracing delayed until after launch. Blah, 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 fucking blah. Everything's fucking delayed. So anyone, like, even claiming, like, the ridiculous reviews of IGN, oh, the campaign's a 9 out of 10. Oh, the multiplayer's a 9 out of 10. Fucking shit's not finished. It's garbage. Doesn't matter how good it is, how enjoyable it is to play, it's not finished. Ultimately, that is what lets this game down. From a gameplay standpoint, purely by playing the campaign, after spending an hour or so making your controls right so it actually plays like a Halo game, some of the missions are kind of fun, some of the parts of the game are kind of fun. It does enough, shall we say. But it's nothing special. It's nothing special. It's nothing anywhere close to any of the old Halo games. Anyone saying it is just wearing the fucking hype goggles. And, you know, this is like the second time I've tried to make this review. The first time I was all over the place, scatterbrained everywhere. Now I think after a few days, I've got some coherent thoughts here. So let's talk about the story. The story that falls flat on its face, the story that we've been waiting for 6 years. The Rise of Skywalker Halo Edition. That's what this story is. Completely retcons the entirety of Halo 5, and this is the shit we get. Now, before we get into the story in the actual game, I want you to understand how bad this story is with an example. An example of a story that me and my brother came up with on the fly a few days ago. Literally on the fly, while playing matchmaking. We came up with a better story for the game. Okay? So, The Banished, fine if you want to bring in The Banished because you want to focus on Covenant shit. I mean, there's no Flood in the game. There's no Prometheans in the game. They're probably coming as DLC. So we're focusing on The Banished here. So the story that me and my brother came up with on the fly is that Captain Del Rio betrays his own people by siding with the Banished. Now this makes perfect sense on like fourfold level. Okay, first you're reusing a character that people actually liked from Halo 4, Captain Del Rio. You know, he's an antagonist on the human side. There's no antagonist on the human side in any Halo game. He's like one of the first antagonists in a Halo game on the human side, who's actually against Master Chief on the human side. So this guy had so much potential to be used in so many, you know, different ways. Why not have him side with the Banished? And then this explains how the Infinity is so easily destroyed, because Del Rio was involved and he's the one that planted the bomb on the Infinity. And therefore it creates this like the humans were destroyed from within because Captain Del Rio gave them the access codes or whatever the fuck. And he caused the Infinity to be blown up as revenge for what happens at the end of Halo 4. Del Rio loses the Infinity and Lasky takes command, you know, and he's aggrieved by this. And also, it's fucking Master Chief's fault for not giving the fucking chip with Cortana on it to Del Rio to be destroyed, because that's what causes fucking Halo 5 to happen and fucking Cortana to go fucking nuts. This all happens because the AI was not destroyed. So Del Rio, by his logic, is the good guy and humanity is evil because they've brought this fucking doomsday on the whole fucking universe, right? This writes itself, right? Now, we came up with this on the fly in about, I don't know, 10, 20 minutes. This ain't the story of Halo Infinite, right? Del Rio's not in the game. Lasky's not in the game. Spartan Locke's not in the game. Palmer's not in the game. Halsey's not in the game. There's 3 characters on the human side in the game. The 3 characters we already fucking know about before we even play the fucking game. New Cortana, quote unquote, the weapon. Master Chief, who should be dead because he's been flying in space too long, which is completely law-breaking and makes absolutely no fucking sense. Absolutely no sense. And then Brohammer, aka fucking Fernando, who, or Echo 216, or whatever the fuck they fancy calling him at a moment's notice. Fernando there sucks. I'm sorry. He's not a good character. And he barely does anything in the game. He just serves as somebody to be captured, so Master Chief has to go out after him. He flies the Pelican. That's it. That's all he does in the whole game. And bitches and moans and pisses and moans and complains and cries about how he shouldn't be here and blah fucking blah. He's one of the only people left alive because he stole a fucking Pelican. Right? He stole that shit. And fucking ran. That's his story. And we're supposed to like this guy. Why? He sucks. Where the fuck is Lasky? Where the fuck are the characters? Okay? And everyone's going to be like, oh, well, Pip, everybody hated Halo 4 and Halo 5, blah, 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 blah. So they've written out all the characters, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, well, they've written all the characters in a shit way. Write them out in a meaningful ending. Kill them off in a meaningful way. Like I said, come up with a cool story for what. And then execute it to where it's like, oh shit, all these characters are being killed off, but do it in a way that feels meaningful so there's a payoff, at least if it's done like at the beginning of the game or in a cutscene or something. But none of that happens. None of that happens. Let me run through it. Let me try and run through it, right? From memory. No fucking script, no bullshit. Game opens with Master Chief being thrown off the Infinity into space. Just thrown off by Atriox. Right? Atriox, who, again, isn't in the game unless he's in a flashback or whatever. So if we fast forward to the end, the after credits is that Atriox is still alive. So if he's still alive, why the fuck wasn't he in the game? Are they setting up DLC? Are they setting up Halo Wars fucking free? I don't fucking know, but he's not in the game. Even though he's still alive. And they think he's dead. Why? Never explained. Never explained why they think he's dead. But apparently, they think he's dead. So, new man, generic brute 117, fucking takes his place. Generic brutes. Whatever. At least the fucking elite is a black Spec Ops elite this time, instead of a generic red one. But, you know, the battles are kind of cool, the bosses are kind of cool, but with regard to the story, who gives a fuck about the fucking brutes or anything? You wrote out the only guy that was of interest, which is Atriox, and we're left with vanilla guys. And then you just throw in a fucking replacement for the fucking Didact, which is the fucking Harbinger. It's just the same character, just female. Fucking hell. Oh, well, the Didact had his own Promethean army. Yeah, the Didact actually had something about him, actually something cool. Harbinger is the Didact Light. Why is the Didact not in the game? Because they killed him in a fucking book. This is retarded. Nothing from Halo 4 and 5 carries into this fucking game. Apart from Cortana, which we'll get on to. So Atriox throws Master Chief off the Infinity. Even though it doesn't look like the Infinity, you never would have guessed it was the Infinity. Only by playing further into the game, you understand that it is the Infinity, but you never would have known that. Because it's not a scene, nobody else is in the scene. No Lasky, no Halsey, no Palmer, no nothing. Nobody is in this scene to make you feel like this is on the Infinity, or even looks like it's on the fucking Infinity. Yet, it fucking takes place on the Infinity. Okay, whatever. So Atriox somehow blows up the Infinity, and somehow they think he's dead from this. And Master Chief is apparently dead from this. Everyone thinks he's dead. Fast forward, like, until the pilot grows a beard because he stole the pelican off the Infinity, right? So the length of time it took for this beard to grow is the length of time Master Chief has been floating in space, right? So that's like weeks. Minimum of weeks. He can't recycle air for that long in the lore, in the books. Okay, now everyone's going to claim, well, they've rewritten it so that he has infinite air supply in his new suit. How is this a thing? But yeah, you can make something make sense by fucking retconning something else. That's all you've done. Oh, but the new suit is 10 million times better, so he can survive for 2 weeks with no air. Where's the air pack? Where's the, how is it recycling the air for that long? How does it get rid of the carbon dioxide that Chief is breathing out for that long? Makes zero fucking sense. Chief's fucking dead. He was out there for fucking weeks. 2-3 weeks. He's dead. That's it. That's the end of the fucking series. The end of the franchise. Chief dies when Atriox throws him off the bridge. And we're not going to talk about the similarities of this story to obviously Halo 4, which we'll get into. It's a complete rehash of Halo 4. But let's fucking also talk about how it's copying Mass Effect fucking 2, where Shepard gets thrown out of the ship and he quote-unquote dies, Master Chief's presumed dead, and then he's resurrected and comes back to life, right? But Mass Effect 2 did it 10 million times better. Because there was an actual fucking big fucking playable like part of the game, a prologue where you play as Commander Shepard on the fucking Normandy. When it gets blown up, you see all the fucking characters and everything from the first game. So it builds up to something. It builds up to something, right? This game doesn't have that. It has Atriox for about 2 seconds and you see Chief get thrown off the ship. That's it. And you don't even know it's the ship. You don't even see him fall. You don't even see a shot of the Infinity at any time. It's so bad. This review's going to go on forever, right? It's bad. You don't see a big epic space battle. There isn't a big epic space battle in the game. You don't see any fucking Covenant ship versus human ship action. All we know is the Banished somehow blow up the Infinity. That's all we know. Somehow. Some way. Not Cortana. Not the Guardians. The Banished do it. Somehow. In 4 minutes, supposedly, according to the dialogue. 4 minutes. How? How? Explain. Atriox managed to board the ship and everything? How did this happen? Wouldn't this been a cool fucking thing to play out in gameplay? Get back the fucking original actors. Get back Lasky. Get some of these people in the fucking game. Even if they just die off in the first fucking few minutes. Let's see them die off. Let's see some of these fucking epic moments. No. You don't see any of that shit. So then Chief wakes up in the fucking ship because he's jump-started like a fucking car, which again, doesn't make sense. We've seen Halo 3, Johnson just unlocks his armor. Why was electricity required to fucking... Oh, his suit was blah blah fucking blah in the writing. Okay, whatever. At least he changed the fucking melting face on the guy's wife. At least that was changed for Bro Hammer. At least that was a fix, even though that's the most cliche story you can come up with. Daddy misses his kids in space. I did a video about it, which was then subsequently blocked. I mean, that is the most cliche story. It's a well-known cliche, and it's right there in the first cutscene of the game, essentially. Well, second cutscene now, if you include the Atriox one. So then Master Chief does a few shenanigans or whatever, and the story starts to progress, and it's just you fight a load of vanilla fucking guys, and then Cortana, the weapon, has the worst dialogue in history. Master Chief's gonna kill fucking Cortana because he thinks she's gonna turn on him again like she did the first time. But Cortana is able to stop him anyway, so what's the fucking point? If Cortana is able to stop Master Chief from killing her, then there's absolutely no fucking reason for him even to have a thing that can kill her. because he can't kill her anyway. And obviously, Halsey would know that, right? How could they not know that Chief has a code to destroy Cortana, but Cortana can simply override that code? So what's the fucking point? It's bad writing. It makes no sense. If Cortana can override the code to kill her, the code is worthless. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? And this is a character that minutes before was saying she wanted to be killed because that was her purpose. She'd done her purpose, so she wanted to die. Then when Chief tries to give her what she wanted, then all of a sudden she turns into a fucking SJW fucking retard saying how Chief is a bad guy. Well, excuse me, like 2-3 scenes ago you were asking him to kill you, and now he's doing what you asked him, and now you're upset about that. Talk about fucking PMS. I mean, are you fucking taking the piss? And this is the story. And then the fucking bearded guy's like, what? Oh, why? You get him fucking chipping in. Chief, why would you do that? Shut up, you fucking goofball. You're not here on the fucking ground. You're fucking pissing around with your fucking little falcon or whatever. Pelican. So anyway, the story sucks cock. Not just because the story you're playing sucks, but because it's so dumbed down and they've wasted everything from like 2012 in Halo 4 all the way up to now. Everything they built up was simply thrown away. So it's complete. That's why it's not just the fact that the story we're playing is terrible and the cheesiest dialogue in history, but the fact that nothing was salvaged out of 2 shitty games prior. And Halo 4's got better fucking dialogue than this game, better fucking characters than this game, easily. You can argue level design, but in terms of story alone, Halo 4 pisses on this fucking game. Again, you can argue art style, but Halo 4 shits on this game. It just does. Okay? Now, if you skip every fucking cutscene in the game and just play through it, what I did on my second playthrough because my achievements broke, blah, blah, fucking blah. We won't get into that. So, my second playthrough, I enjoyed a lot more because I didn't have to listen to the fucking garbage as much. Okay? And what this game does as you're going through and walking around is it just nostalgia baits. That's all it fucking does. That's all it knows how to do. Chief has the same fucking lines that he had in Halo fucking 3 and Halo 2. I need a weapon. Finish the fight. Cortana's like dusting echoes. And do you know what I'm saying? It's all fucking nostalgia fucking trips, man. Nostalgia fucking bait. And that's kind of cool for, like, you know, the LNGs or whatever, the Forerunners that worked on the game who sucked the dick of all that lore stuff. But I'm looking for something fucking actually worthwhile, a fucking compelling story. And we're not getting a compelling story. We're getting 3 marooned fuckers going around. And the worst of the story is Master Chief is allowed to do all this stuff. The Brute, whatever his fucking name is, forgettable guy, not Atriox, which should be Atriox, but not Atriox, is allowing Master Chief to live. Allowing Master Chief to go about his business. All the way through the fucking game. Until you get to him as, like, not the final boss, but the boss before the Harbinger. The Harbinger is just thrown in at random. And the whole fucking, like, a bunch of people, the Endless, whatever the fuck they're called, I think that's what they're called, don't quote me on that, are going to be released or whatever, and we have to stop her before she does it. That's just thrown in. That's got fuck all to do with the rest of the story. That's just tagged on. That's like, it's like they added the Didac story into whatever the fuck they came up with the fucking Banished. That's all they've done there. And then the Banished are working with this person. Or the fucking Harbinger's going to release the Endless and destroy the Banished. Why are they working with the fucking Harbinger? The plot makes no sense. You fucking just watch the cutscenes again and explain to me where it makes any fucking sense. It doesn't. Like I say, skip the fucking cutscenes and the game's not that bad. It's better than Halo 5. At least you don't have fucking gay teammates that fucking are worthless. You know? The level design's better than Halo 5's levels. You know, San Helios was good and everything else was terrible. You fight the Warden Anal 7 times. That ain't this game. You fight a lot of bosses, but at least it's like, oh, you faced a couple of elites, visible elites with swords. Okay, that's cool. You fight Guilty Spark's fucking nephew or whatever in a fucking mech twice. You fight a bunch of brutes, different ones. They're all, you know, pretty much the same, but they got like different weapons and stuff. So you could argue that. And you fight the Harbinger. Okay, so there's a lot of bosses, and you could argue like the Red Hunters, they're like fucking bosses on their own. You have to fight those motherfuckers, and they are hard to kill, right? But you do all this, and you know it's a better game than Halo 5, but you know it's an excessive use of the same fucking shit bosses, and there's no ending. Like, let's get so that kind of coincides with gameplay, and like the ending of the story is ass. So what have I missed? Like, say the Harbinger just turns up. There's no plot there whatsoever. The brute's got a hard on for Master Chief, so he won't kill him for some reason. Why? So he's got an entire army. He wipes out the entire Infinity in 4 minutes with this army. Yet he can't kill Master Chief. Are we expected to believe Master Chief is, you know, he's letting him live? It's the only explanation, and he actually says like this multiple times, that he wants to fight Chief. He wants it to be a glorious showdown, all this bollocks. So he's allowing the Chief to win. He's allowing that. That's not fun from a story and gameplay standpoint. Oh, this guy's letting me fucking win. He's allowing me to live. What a fucking weak-ass story that is. He's not trying to kill me. He's allowing me to live. If the fucking Infinity was in play, if the humans were in play here, if there was like a stalemate or something, and both sides don't want to fucking blow each other up because they daren't, like the Banished daren't attack the humans because they think the humans might destroy their fleet, so they're holding position, and the humans like a blockade, and they're like holding position in space, and it's like a fucking a pool of fucking petrol, and it's like it's just waiting for a match to ignite it. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, that's what you know, like a powder keg ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Like tension, like, oh shit, is the Infinity gonna, you know, something playing out other than Master Chief? Something grandiose, something in play other than Master Chief just going around and destroying fucking control towers, which is just ripped straight out of Halo 1. That's the game. Destroy control towers, ride the gondola like Halo 2, load of quotes just being fed to you like the Gravemind quotes from Halo 3, again from Cortana, actual Cortana. It's just copying bits from other games, and then it's fucking nothing grandiose is in play, even though the stakes were incredibly high in Halo 5. The stakes are dumbed down here. Yes, oh, we've got to do this because this, blah, blah, fucking blah, and supposedly the stakes are high, but realistically the stakes are fucking low because everybody you know, every character you ever fucking knew about in this universe is already fucking dead. So the stakes couldn't be any fucking lower. There's nothing left to save. So let's talk about Cortana, because they just literally copied and pasted Halo 4's story. They've retconned Halo 5, but rather than just retcon it and just say, oh, it doesn't exist, it's not part of the canon, they've taken the story of Halo 5, what they had, and set up. And it's kind of like a Last Jedi situation to Rise of Skywalker. They've got to come up with a way to get back to the end of Halo 4. That's what they've decided to do. They've decided to make Cortana a good person again, or good character or whatever. So they've got to come up with some convoluted bullshit where Cortana has a change of heart and decides to destroy herself to make sure that the fucking Endless aren't released, alright? So, I mean, that's exactly the same as what happened at the end of Halo 4, where she destroys the Didact or throws him off into the fucking pits of oblivion, where he doesn't actually die, but then he's killed off later in the book. So it's the same plot. Cortana sacrifices herself. And then they have the same exact goodbye scene as they had in Halo 4, only way fucking worse, with the worst fucking graphics of Cortana I've ever fucking seen. Was they're trying to do like the Halo 4, the Halo 2 aesthetic, not the Halo 4 aesthetic, right? So it's the same scene, but way fucking worse. Same plot and everything, but way fucking worse. And then the ending scene after that is again way fucking worse. And this is supposed to be the end of the franchise. I know they're just setting up DLC and there's straight up Destiny now, which is the problem. But the ending with Cortana, and again, the other scene with Cortana, where this is an important scene, where she blows up Aatrox's homeworld, that could have been a huge fucking deal. Like, I'm talking Blair cutscenes with a big fucking planet explosion and all the fucking Guardians blow up the planet, and there's another one where she blows up the Spartan space station, whatever the fuck it is. Where's the fucking big grandiose fucking Xbox fucking Series X fucking cutscene where it's like, whoa, and like fucking bits of it scar everywhere, and it, fucking, make it look cool. No, it's on a little blue hologram. Cheap as fuck. Budget. They just like slashed the budget for this game, I swear. They were like, nah, fuck that. We're gonna have to fucking dumb that right the foot down. Everything is dumb the foot back. You don't see a scene in space. The only fucking like bit in space is literally right at the beginning. That's it. And that doesn't even count because there's literally nothing shown. It doesn't even count. There's no space battles. You don't fly in space in this one. You flew in space in Halo 4, and you flew in space in Halo Reach, but not in this one. None of that shit happens. Nothing happens grandiose in this game. Everything is dumbed down. Alright? And this is, I'm telling you, I like the fucking, like, the levels are kind of good, but the fucking story and plot around them. I mean, one of the biggest problems with the gameplay is it's got that Halo 4-esque push a button, kill enemies, 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 push a button gameplay. Right? There's a drawback for you right there. But at least after you push the button, there's kind of some cool stuff going on. I ride a gondola. This sentinel beam, this works well. This is really cool. There's some fun stuff in the game. But the plot, and people are arguing like, oh, fucking, I saw a fucking sacred fucking icon or whatever the fuck, one of the fucking biggest idiots on Twitter. Oh, can we all agree that the fucking dialogue was fucking brilliant between the weapon and the chief? The fucking dialogue is the worst part of the game. The story and plot and the cringed SJW dialogue are terrible. It's the worst part of the game. Yeah, that's the best part of the game. That makes the fucking no co-op at launch look worse, because it's like, who wants to play this game over and over again for its story? We don't. There's no grandiose ending, and that really is one of the worst parts about this game, is there is no grandiose ending in terms of story and in terms of gameplay. There's no Warthog run, there's no ghost chase. There's a ghost chase in Halo 4 for those of you wondering. There's nothing. There's no big. The only vehicle thing is like what you have in a Halo Reach, where you have to get back to Sword Base and in the tank. That they kind of redo that level in the open world in this game. Like, it's a very similar type of deal where you have all the vehicles are lined up and you pick one and then you have to get to the base. That's the same exact thing happens in Halo Reach. This game takes from other better games and then puts that part in the game. And it's like, oh, this is kind of fun. It's like, I'm not saying it's a bad level. I enjoyed like what they were doing here, like pulling from other games and stuff. But the execution of the story and the ending is worthless. It doesn't even like. Wouldn't it be cool if Lasky survives somehow or something? Something cool happens right at the end. Something, But no, nothing happens. You save the pilot. You kill the Harbinger, and then he says, we'll finish the fight, and then he goes and does some side missions, and that's the end of the game. Really? 6 fucking years for this? This is the story? How can you do that? And it's like, it just sets up DLC. It's like, it continues on. Master Chief don't fucking die, none of that shit. Nothing grandiose, nothing. I'm not saying they should kill him off. I'm just saying the ending is worthless. Nothing happens at the end. There's no finale. Oh, you killed a harbinger, so you stopped the endless. Well, that fucking is worthless. What should happen is the endless should be unleashed. And then that then sets up the DLC of the endless actually being unleashed, and that's a new enemy, and that would actually be cool. I'd be more on board for that. Especially if it was free DLC. Or worthwhile DLC. I mean, that's a way better ending than, it's still a cliffhanger ending, but they wrap it up as, oh no, we stopped this shit from happening. So there's nothing even as a cliffhanger ending, it's worthless, because the cliffhanger is Atriox is still alive. That's the cliffhanger. Now, there's supposed to be a legendary ending, I haven't even looked that up, but at the end of the day, the ending, whatever it's going to be, I know it's just going to set up DLC. It's not going to complete anything, because we completed the game and it's not an ending. And it doesn't even end in some kind of shenanigans with a Warthog run. And this is the end of the third game. There was even supposed to be a Warthog run in Halo 2, but it got cut. So maybe there was supposed to be something here that they had to cut, because the game's been delayed a million times. And that's going to come back as DLC. Maybe there will be a Warthog run in this game. Maybe there will be a fucking space battle of some description in this game, but it's coming as DLC. The game has been cut. And the ending is fucking worthless. And the story is terrible all the way through. It's not even as if you enjoy the story on the way through. And there's going to be some fucking idiot on the other end of the screen trying to explain that the fucking story's good and blah blah fucking blah. And that all the characters in Halo 5 were shit, even though when Halo 5 came out they were saying the fucking story's amazing, that Spartan Locke's fucking amazing. And blah blah fucking blah. And yes, Spartan Locke is fucking dead. Same as everyone fucking else is dead. They killed everybody off. Worthless. Give Locke a hero's death. Do something. Kill him off in the first cutscene if you're going to kill him off. Not even shown. Don't show anything. No cutscenes, no back. And it's like, oh, but there's audio logs. Yeah, who gives a rat's ass about audio logs? Give us the cutscene. Give us something worthwhile. Where are they? Where's the... No opening, no ending of any worth. Nothing. No grandiose moments. Nothing. It's all scaled down. It's all revolving around this fucking open world garbage. And there's nothing in the game that's grandiose. Even Halo 5, even though it was shit, had these big fucking cutscenes where they fell from space and stuff. Like, I know that's fucking impossible in the lore, but at least they did something grandiose. But what it should be is something grandiose that's actually within the fucking lore that makes sense. But they don't do that. So the story's ass. Oh, I despair. I despair. 6 years for this. 6 fucking years. This is the story they came up with. And to be fair to the writers, they were handed a raw fucking deal with the end of Halo 5. They had to write something that made sense from the end of that shit, which just is fucking nearly impossible. So I can understand what they've done here, but the execution's not even good. It doesn't even like what they're saying. The Infinity is destroyed. Okay, can we see it destroyed? Can we see it in a fucking elaborate cutscene or even a playable fucking section of the game on the Infinity? Wouldn't that be cool? Like the first level of Halo 1 where you're kind of running through the fucking Pillar of Autumn and you have to kill a bunch of people and you have to try and get to the escape pod and all that shit. Wouldn't that be fucking cool? Wouldn't that be a cool fucking thing to play through? Why is that not in the game? With a big elaborate cutscene showing the Infinity getting blown up as he's thrown into space. And that's from their own story that they've come up with. And it's not executed at all. You can't even tell he's thrown off the Infinity. And then people are going to claim that this is a good fucking story. Their own story that they've come up with that I don't even like is not even executed in the proper manner. That's all you need to understand. Fucking hell, man. It just winds me up because people are trying to claim that this is better than fucking Bungie's games. Are you fucking shitting me? Are you fucking shitting me? And then through a lesser extent, it's definitely better than Halo 4. Well, it can't be better than Halo 4 because it's literally the same fucking story. And Halo 4 has way better fucking story than this fucking game. Because Halo 4 did it first and superior. So how can it be a better story than Halo 4? Is it a better story than Halo 5? It's got better level design than Halo 5. I enjoyed the level design in the campaign more. But in terms of story, just kind of the same shit. It's not really better than Halo 5's story. It's just a continuation of Halo 5's shit story. That's what it is. But they had to cut every major character and plot point apart from Cortana to reset back to Halo 4. Reset back to the end of Halo 4 as though Halo 5 didn't fucking happen, even though we all know it fucking did. So, it's shit. Like I say, the levels, like, it's got an overabundance of bosses. You know what I mean? That's what it's got. But that ain't really that's kind of a preference because they're not all the same boss. It's not, you're not fighting the same boss over and over. You do fight similar ones, but they're not exactly the fucking same, and it's not the same. So you have the same boss 7 times in Halo 5. That's terrible. This at least they have a lot of bosses, but at least it's broken up into different ones, different types. So it's a lot more enjoyable. But it needed something else. It needed a big, like, grandiose finale sequence of some fucking description. At least something impressive, and it needed way more fucking cutscenes and way more fucking prologue to explain how we got from Halo 5 to here and what the fuck's going on. It needed way more fucking, especially a prologue or a big opening cutscene to explain what the fuck happened between Halo 5 and Halo Infinite. It needed that. We needed to see Spartan Locke's death. It could have been some kind of flashback or something. So some of these characters needed closure. Not one character in this game has got any closure apart from, well, nobody, not even Master Chief, because that just carries on. There's no payoff. There's no payoff with Cortana. She's just back to where she was in Halo 4, dead. And the new Cortana is just the same, like, just a social justice warrior version with UNSC on her fucking neck and wearing all man's clothes. And you know what I mean? So, was that character development? Now she's a fucking social justice warrior feminist character who fucking hates Master Chief because Master Chief tried to kill her. That's the story. Even though that was the whole fucking, she wanted to be killed 5 minutes before. Gameplay is kind of cool. You just spam the grappling hook 24/7 if you want to fucking speedrun it. So, I don't know the longevity of the fucking game. But it's more fun than Halo 5. I have to give it credit. The music, again, is brilliant. I've always liked the music in Halo 4 and Halo 5. Music in this game's just as good. I can't, they've changed fucking musical people and they've done a good job. Definitely. Can't argue with that. So, what else is there to talk about? And the open world I'm not even bothered about because it's just Far Cry. And it's literally the same as any fucking Ubisoft game you've ever played. So that's not even worth discussing. It's just go around and collect a bunch of stuff. There you go. There's your fucking open world. Done. Cookie cutter bullshit that shouldn't be in Halo. That's what the open world is. So let's not even fucking discuss the open world because we're just wasting our time. But I had the same feeling on it now than I did before. Shouldn't be in the game. That's it. So we've covered the open world. We've covered the fucking story. The level design is more Halo than Halo 5. It's more fun than Halo 5. Is it better than any of the other games? You'll have to fucking replay it a million times and then you'll know if it holds up against the other games. Because those games have been played many times by most of us. So is this game got that longevity? Does it have the replay value? Halo 4 doesn't have the replay value of a Halo fucking 2. Or a Halo 1. It doesn't. Does this game have the replay value? I don't think it does, because for one, the story certainly doesn't. But if you skip the story, the game is a lot more fun. I like the ending bit where you have to fight a bunch of firefights, essentially, against different enemies. The Red Hunters come in, you have to fight a bunch of people. You're on, like, a hilltop, like a museum made by the Brutes and all that. That's kind of cool. And, I enjoyed parts of the game. But the problem is There's no big. There needs to be a finale sequence, and there wasn't, and there isn't an opening sequence. So it's all just like the middle of the game's kind of like there. It's kind of like Mass Effect 3, but not as bad. You know what I'm saying? Like the ending of Mass Effect 3, it does follow on from Mass Effect 1 and 2, and then it just fucking fails on its ass when it gets to the final ending, right? Well, this game fails on its ass when it gets to the final ending, but it doesn't even follow on from the other games at all in any way. It's like a standalone game, and you're better off just skipping every fucking cutscene because the cutscenes are worthless, and well, the plots are worthless. Because it's not even a grandiose thing when you see it. Even the plot points like, oh, they're fucking blowing up a planet. It's like, go back and watch Star Wars, the first Star Wars film, Episode 4, and you see a planet get fucking blown up, right? In the first Star Wars film. You don't even get that. You don't see a planet get blown up. You go watch Dragon Ball Z, you'll see big epic fucking animation, drawn, planets getting blown up by characters. You don't see that. You see a blue hologram. It's piss poor, mate. I'm sorry. It's shit. And that's their own plot. They came up with blowing up a planet. That was their own idea. And yet they don't execute it. And it just fails at execution. More than anything else, it's just poorly executed. And the writing, the dialogue is bad. Dialogue's terrible. Don't care what anyone says. Don't give me no bullshit about this is a fucking young Cortana, not a fucking old Cortana. This is a different character, blah, blah, fucking blah. This character is fucking like a parody of Cortana. And this is a parody of Master Chief. And this fucking Brohammer guy, Fernando there, he's like a parody of something that I haven't quite fucking figured out yet. But he's just a worthless character. It just sucks. I don't know how they make a Halo game with only having 3 people on the human side. And I'm not talking about 3 people as in 3 people who are main characters. No, just 3 people on the human side. There's no humans in the game. Oh, there's Marines you can meet up with in the game. No, fuck them. Fuck them. Where's the fuck? There's nothing. It leaves a lot to be desired. That's what this fucking game does. 6 years of development for this. And all they did was set up DLC in the end. And is that DLC going to be any good? Is the DLC going to save the game? Is Atriox coming back on the DLC? Or is that setting up for Halo Wars 3? I don't know. But I know that they're definitely setting up for fucking DLC because they've said it themselves. Are the Prometheans coming back? Or the Flood coming back? The leaks would suggest the Flood are coming back. Okay, well, is Atriox going to unleash the Flood? Why would Atriox unleash the Flood? What does it have to do with Atriox? The leaks are saying that there's a Flood firefight mode. Are you telling me they're not going to put the Flood in the campaign when they put the Flood in the firefight mode, even though they are doing campaign DLC? This just raises more fucking questions. Surely the game should end with the Gravemind. Now maybe that's the fucking legendary ending that I haven't fucking played yet. Don't want to spoil myself, but you know what I mean? Even then, it's still just setting up DLC. That's what they're doing. It's not a conclusive ending. It's like the end of Destiny. When she just walks off. Hey, I don't have time to explain. And then when you meet up with her, and then she just walks off again. And then nothing is explained. That's this game. Nothing is explained. The game fucking ends like you just left scratching your head. Like, what did I just play? That's how you feel. It's not a good story at all. But it's definitely better than Halo 5. So I've got to give them that. So let me know what you think. Feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you later.